Lesson 7-4, Circles and Circumference. And in this lesson, you learn to find the circumference of a circle. And you can use circumference to find how far a bicyclist travels. Okay, let's take a look at this activity and let's look at the keywords in this lesson. Okay, so the keywords in this lesson: a circle is a set, okay, of points in a plane that are in the same distance from a given point, okay, in the plane. The given point is called the center. The distance from the center to any point in the circle is called the radius. The distance across the circle through the center is called the diameter. And the circumference of a circle is the distance around the circle. So let's take a look at this circle and let's look at all the definitions. A circle is, okay, basically that one. You know that already. Okay, a given point in the center is called the center, and this is the center of our circle right there. Okay, the distance from the center to any point on the circle is called the radius. So this is a radius right here. This can also be your radius if it's only half the line right there. Okay, so another radius would probably that one. That can be another radius for as long as it is a distance from the center to any point in the circle. Okay, and if you have a line that passes through the center, that's called your diameter. Okay, and if you notice, the diameter is twice the length of the radius. So this is your radius, this is another radius, and the diameter is basically, oopsie, the diameter is equal to twice the radius. Okay? Okay, so you can measure circumference of a circle with a metric ruler. Okay, and this is activity you can do on your own. You pause this and probably find 4 circular objects in your house, and do this. And this is very interesting. Use a metric ruler to measure the diameter of a circular object. Okay, so if you don't have a metric ruler, use a string and use a tape measure that your dad has. Okay, record your findings in a table like the one below, something like this. Create a table, find an object, okay, and it's up to you. So after that, basically what you do is this: you find a circular object. Okay, let me give you an example. And what you do is you get that circular object and then you measure the distance around it with a string, and then get that string and put it on a metric ruler, or get that string and measure it with your dad's tape measure. Okay, and then the next one is use a what's this? Mark the string where it means the same, like the ruler. Okay, find the diameter. After that, you find the diameter. Let me get a line there. Okay, that means you get the diameter, approximate where the center is, and then simply find the length of the diameter. Okay, that'll be your diameter. And then again, measure it with a ruler. Okay, and then use a calculator. This one you are allowed to use a calculator. Use a calculator to divide the circumference of the by the diameter. So after finding your circumference, which is C, and after getting your diameter, use a calculator to get C divided by D. Okay, you want to do that, and then repeat this activity with 3 other circular objects of various sizes. Okay, pause this for now. And then, okay, what did you find out? What is the mean quotient of the last column? So the mean quotient is basically this. You basically add all your data here and then divide it by 4. Okay, the mean should be very close to, okay, 3.14. I think the answer is here, somewhere here underneath. There. So that about 3.14, close enough, not necessarily exactly 3.14, but around that number. Okay, And then you get your calculator and press the pi key on your calculator. How does your mean compare to this value? Okay, so basically you know that pi is actually 3.14192, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what did we learn from this activity? The relationship you discovered in the activity above is true for all circles. If it is a perfect circle, you will always have the same quotient. So the circumference of a circle is always 3.141592 times the diameter of your circle. Okay, so the Greek letter pi stands for this number. Although pi is not a rational number, the rational numbers 3.14 and 22/7 are two generally accepted approximations for pi. Okay, so when you talk about an irrational number cannot be a decimal nor a fraction. But since we are just approximating the value of pi, these are the two values of pi that we will be the two approximated values of pi that we will be using, 3.14 and 22/7. So let's define circumference in words. The circumference of a circle is equal to its diameter times pi, or 2 times its radius, 2 times its radius times pi, or in symbols, c equals pi d, or c equals 2 pi r. Again, why is that twice the radius? Because remember, in at the beginning of the lesson, I told you that diameter is 2 times the radius. Okay, so these two formulas are the ones that you need to memorize. Okay, and I mean memorize because you're going to use this until high school. So find the circumference of each circle described below. So letter A, the circle has a diameter of 8.25. And if the circle has a diameter of 8.25, then we will use the formula pi d. Okay? We use the formula pi d, and then we simply substitute diameter, circumference equals pi times 8.25, and then we simply use the calculator. Okay? Punch in the value of pi times 8.25, and that will be your approximate value. So the circumference of a circle is about 25.9. Remember why is it just an approximation? Because the value of pi is a non-repeating or a non-terminating decimal. That means it will never end. So we're basically finding the approximate value of pi and multiplying it by its diameter. So when you talk about circumference and area of a circle, you're just approximating the value of circumference and area. Don't get me wrong though. Okay, it is very close to the exact value when we find it, like 25.918139913939. Okay, it's just that you cannot find the exact value of circumference and area of a circle. Moving on, let's use 22/7 for pi in this particular circle. Why did we use 22/7? Because if you look at this again, okay, if you look at that circle, you notice that circle will have our radius of 9 1/3 inches. So if the value given is a fraction, then we use the approximate value for pi of 22/7 because that too is a fraction. Okay, so we'll write down the formula 2 pi r. Why 2 pi r? Because you're given the radius, okay, right here, and this is your radius. In this case, you were given the diameter, and that's why you use this formula. So going back to that problem, circumference equals 2 pi r. We simply substitute the values for pi and the radius, and we do a little bit of cross canceling. 2/1 times 22/7 times 4/3. So the approximate value for circumference is 176/3, or 58 2/3 inches. So the circumference is about 58 2/3 inches. Okay, let's take a look at the last example, connection to algebra. Sometimes you know the circumference of a circle and need to find its radius or diameter. So in this case, you can write the equation and solve it. Okay, so Earth's circumference is approximately 25,000 miles. So if you could dig a tunnel to the center of the Earth, how long would this tunnel be? Okay, so we want to find out when you dig a tunnel to the center of the Earth, okay, let's say right here, all the way to the center of the Earth, and this is the center of the Earth, how long will that tunnel be? Okay, so what do we know? You know the circumference of the Earth. You want to know the distance to the center or the radius. So in this case, we're looking for the radius. Okay, so we plan by replacing c with 25,000 and solving c equals 2 pi r. Again, why did we use the formula 2 pi r? Because you are looking for the radius. Okay, so we have 25,000 equals 2 pi r. Okay, and then we want to solve for the radius. That means in order to solve for the radius, we need to undo 2 pi. And if you look at this particular expression 2 pi r means 2 times pi times r. So in order to undo 2 times pi, we need to divide both sides by 2 pi. Okay, so dividing both sides by 2 pi using a calculator. Okay, let's estimate, before we go to the calculator, let's estimate 24,000 divided by 6. Our answer should be 4,000 in our calculator. Okay, why 6? Because 2 times approximate value of pi rounded to the nearest ones is 3. And that's why it's 6. Using our calculator, we find 3,978.8736. Okay, so the distance to the center of the Earth is about 3,979 miles, rounded to the nearest ones place. Okay, and checking our answer, the radius is about 4,000 and pi is about 3. Estimate the circumference by finding their product. So 2 times 3 times 4,000, 24,000. The answer is pretty reasonable, and our answer should be right. Okay. Secret word for this lesson is journey. Okay, journey. The secret word for this lesson is journey. Okay, and thank you for watching.